Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Vorian from the Pattern Journal, and welcome back to Unboxing Will, where we continue our journey of unboxing various action figures, whether it's Masters of the Universe, it's G.I. Joe, or very soon, it's going to be Marvel Legends as well. So, anyways, we are going to go ahead and open up a Cobra character today, and this is a bit of an odd one for me. I do not know much about this character, actually, and even until I saw this particular box being up for sale, I had no idea this character even existed. So it's a bit of an odd duck for myself, but he looked pretty good. The artwork is kind of cool as well, I guess. Although it's actually just the toy photography with him, but I think he's pretty cool looking. And without further ado, uh, I present to you Mr. Copperhead. So this is one of the various colorful characters that Cobra employs within its ranks. Some kind of a swamp expert, I would say, and comes with a bunch of fairly standard looking accessories for a guy like him. Although I wish he had something a little bit more. And I've opened so many retro card back GI Joe figures now, and I really wish that there was the file card stuff was replicated a lot more across that line. I really wish it wasn't limited to just the retro card back figures, but a whole lot more. Because like you look at this guy, right? They give you this technical stuff, but I would really like to see actually some some more details about who this guy is. It just adds to the overall mystery and the overall mystique of each character, right? Because there's no bad characters per se in the entire line. It's just every character is pretty amazing on its own. So I really wish that was a thing. But anyways, we can't have everything, I guess. But anyways, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open this guy up, and we'll be right back after this jump. Cheers. All right, guys. So we're back after the jump, and I have to say, the actual figure it really sells the vibe that this is kind of like a badass character. Like I said, he's a bit of swamp or jungle oriented character, and you can see that in a lot of different ways on him. With the outfit he's got on, the bare arms, the kind of like the helmet that he's wearing, the mask or whatever, and so those like huge boots that he's got on, and he's got a couple of pistols. He's got this huge like machete thing. The gun that I actually have him holding in his hands right now, that one goes on the back. The smaller pistol goes here, and the machete it actually goes here. And I actually might have the machete on him the wrong way around, so just give me a second. Just gonna fix that. There we go. Although that still doesn't feel right. It just looks a bit odd with the way that he's got it. However, there are some issues that I have with this figure, and they're kind of like unavoidable issues as well. First of all, if you see, see that the articulation on this leg, it's really, I wouldn't call it smooth, it's loose. Whereas on the other one, it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but you can hear the pop as I put it through the paces. And the arms are also a little, like, they're a little stiff. The shoulder joints are fine. It's more like the arm itself, like the middle of the arm right here and here, those are stiff, which is apparently a feature in most of these figures. What I do like is that he has a lot of motion on his head, though, which is not something that you see often in Classified. So there's that. And I also find it a little bit odd that you can pretty much have him with all of his three weapons, pretty much all of his weapons sheathed or holstered, and then he's just like he's got nothing in his arms. Whereas I was kind of expecting him to have something a little bit more, because pretty much all the figures, while you can sheath almost all of their weapons, you can still, like, kind of, there's something extra. We've seen that on Beachhead, we've seen that on Scarlet, we've seen that also on Stalker, most recently. We've seen that in so many different figures. But this one, it kind of feels weird that, you can just like sheath all of his weapons and then, he's kind of like empty handed. I feel that, he could have done with having a matching set of machetes, actually. I think that would have been really neat. And the pistol, not quite sold on this particular pistol. Um, it would have been not fine if this didn't have the range finder, the viewfinder on top of it, the scope, and the scope is also like, it looks odd, right? Like, it fits right here. It's got this huge big end over here, way past the hammer at the back of the pistol, and then there's a small one. Like that gun, like it's a 6 shooter kind of weapon, right? I don't think it needs a scope. The scope is like really extra, so that immediately looks weird. The other pistol is fine. I really like that he has the clips for the holsters, so they can hold them in place. I think that's a really nice touch. But overall, it's like, it's a decent figure. I wouldn't put him on any top lists for this range or anything. But I think he still looks pretty good. He looks badass, and the uniform is pretty neat. He's got tattoos here and there. Um, cool stuff. All right, actually, did he have a tattoo? Yeah, he has a tattoo on the inside of this arm right here, as you can see. Uh, yeah, probably some kind of a squad marking or whatever that is in the lore, maybe, with Copperhead. So that's pretty much it, guys. Uh, Pretty decent figure. I think I would give him like a 7, maybe 6.5, 7. That's where I think I would end up for this particular figure. If his articulation was a little bit better, if his weapons were a little bit better designed, because, like, look at the machete even, right? If I have him with the curve of the handle going backwards, it looks, the blade looks really odd. If the curve on the blade is forward, whereas if you flip it around, then it looks even more weird, because then it's like the handle is curved forwards and the blade is curved backwards. The backwards curved blade looks better, but the backwards handle looks better as well. So it's like, having it be the opposite is really weird. And I think he's also someone who could do with having some more accessories. Maybe, some kind of a rope or something would have been nice, or some kind of a heavier backpack for him. Because having this particular pistol have a backpack for it, it's like, okay, that kind of doesn't make sense, So, a bit of an odd duck, I think it's safe to say, but it's a decent figure. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend him for any top lists, but if you want to, like, fill out some kind of particular themed roster in your collection or whatever, I think it probably fits in there. Like, you want to have some kind of a diorama of, the jungle GI Joes versus the jungle or the swamp Cobras. So, he could also fit in with, maybe with the Dreadnoks, because they have that whole swamp thing going on with them. So he could fit in there as well, So stuff like that, always got to think about these things. So anyways, guys, that's it for me for this guy. We'll be back soon with another video, and it's going to be a real nice unboxing. I can assure you of that. So anyways, that's me signing off for this time. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment about your thoughts with this figure. And I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Bye. Peace out.